Hello. How are you doing today? I am streaming differently than I normally do. So let me just check really quickly. I hate it. I don't want to say hate it. I don't like it when people do this because I'm like, just get your stuff together. But since I am trying something new, I want to make sure that I am streaming inside of the group. And right now it doesn't look like I am. So let me, mm, so let me do just one more thing. Let me find us. Let's see. Okay, so let's try that and see what's happening. Okay, so I am using StreamYard, and so I will kind of, let's see. Okay, so I am live inside of Limitless Women. I am so excited about this training, Limitless Growth. Stop holding yourself back and attract more clients. And so I'm going to be talking most of the training about self sabotage and ways that we self sabotage, but also strategies or tools to stop self-sabotaging so that you can grow your business. And so if you're here, please drop a comment. Let me know that you're here. I love interacting. Like I said, I'm going to be using StreamYard, so I might have to pause every once in a while and kind of come back into the comments, but please let me know if you're here. Um, and let's get started. So, mm, if you are inside of this group, you can maybe tag someone who's also inside of the group. I can't add people as the presentation's going on. However, if this is something that you think is beneficial for someone who you know, please invite them inside of Limitless Women because the more that we can share, the more people that we're helping. And that's my goal is to make a positive impact in the world. As you notice inside this group, I have people from all over the world and they want to stop those limiting beliefs that are holding them back. They want to be part of the group. So please invite women that you believe or you think might benefit from the group. Again, I can't add them right now while I'm doing the training, but I will later. Um, before we get started, just a little bit of housekeeping. We're all adults, so I'm not going to go into this big rules or expectations. All I'm saying is you have decided to take the time for yourself, so make yourself a priority. Eliminate those distractions. Turn off your phone, silence it. Just be with me for the next hour. My goal is an hour. We'll see. I'm a talker. Those of you who have been inside of this group, you know I'm a talker. I love to talk. I talk really quickly. So who knows? We might be done in 15, 20, 30 minutes, but I've planned for an hour. make sure that you grab a notebook, maybe a tablet if you're a digital person. I'm a digital person, so I like to take notes on my tablet. Um, I've got my water just in case. But just grab something. It is a lunchtime. Maybe you have a snack, maybe you have your lunch. But be ready. We're going to take some notes. We're going to do some action inside of here. But interact, comment, engage. But most of all, let's have some fun. In today's training, we are going to talk about 3 different ways that you can self-sabotage. We're going to discuss strategies to lessen those self-sabotaging behaviors or stop them. Ultimately, we want to stop them. And when we do that, it's also about growing our business, because when we get out of our own way, then we take action and we make progress to grow the business. And so we're going to talk about those strategies. We're going to create an action plan and then the next steps. So for those of you who are new to me, I'm Missy Riddles. I'm a business mindset strategist. I help female entrepreneurs get those clients, grow the business without the self-sabotage. You know, being an entrepreneur sometimes can be lonely because people don't understand us. We have a brain that goes all of the time. I always talk about if I could invent a light switch to turn off my brain so I could sleep, that would be fantastic, because my brain is going, going, going. Ideas, um, different ways that I want, maybe it's something new, like a new idea, and then ways to break it down into actionable steps. Like, it's just going all of the time. But also, being a business owner can be, if you allow it, can be daunting and can be overwhelming. And so I'm hoping if you choose to work with me that you learn it doesn't have to be that way. And so we do that inside of my Aligned Client Attraction Accelerator. You can find out more about that at missyriddles.com. And then also, um, I've kind of evolved this Limitless Women Facebook group. You know, it started out as personal development, and then it's evolved into business, but also personal development is key to growing a successful business. So I've just kind of merged the ideas into what it has evolved into today. So who's ready to grow your business without that self-sabotage? Because that's what we're going to talk about today. So grab your pen, notebook, tablet. Also, I want to bring it to your attention. I've got this little, what I call an interactive symbol. It's the little multicolored person, little circular object. Every once in a while on my slides, you will see the symbol. And I love for interaction. And so I can't see you. We're not in an in-person training, but this is a way that we can interact. And it's more for you and a tool or something that I want you to do inside the activity, because I know I get bored very quickly. And so when presenters keep me engaged through interactive activities, that keeps my attention and my focus. And so that's my goal for you. And that's the old teacher in me coming out. I want you to get the most out of this. I don't want it to be boring. I'm going to be talking a lot, but I want you to take it in so that you walk away better than you were when you started this training. So that's my goal. So be looking out for that interactive symbol. All right. So this is where I'm going to stop you for just a little bit. It's kind of a question. I'm not going to ask a question, but it's something that I want you to think about. And so the next slide asks you to be vulnerable. If you want to share in the comments, feel free to do that. But I respect that you might not want to share openly in a group of strange women who you don't know, or you might know and you might not want to share. But I'm asking you to be vulnerable. So even if it is not putting a comment, it is thinking about it. And I want you to be truthful. Be honest with yourself. Okay, that's why we're here, to be better versions of ourselves. All right, so do any of these statements sound familiar? Can you relate to any of them? You often procrastinate on important tasks or projects. You frequently doubt your abilities or you feel like an imposter. You struggle to make decisions or take action. You engage in negative self talk, or you have a very harsh inner critic. You got that woman inside of you just nagging, criticizing everything that you do. You have difficulty setting boundaries with others or saying no to requests. Or the last one, you avoid seeking help or support when you need it. So I want to know, you might have been able to relate to one of them, 5 of them. I don't know. Can you relate to any of them? If you can, then you're in the right place because these are different types of self-sabotaging behaviors, and we are going to talk about how to overcome them, or at least start. So, for those of you who don't know, sabotage is an act or process tending to hamper or hurt. And that's according to the Merriam Webster dictionary definition. So, self sabotage is hurting ourselves or hindering ourselves or holding ourselves back. Okay, that is self sabotage. So, here we go. We've got that interactive symbol. So, it's time to write down. So take out your notebook, your tablet, and how does self-sabotage affect business? Because we are here to talk about business and the ways that self-sabotage is affecting the business. And I'm going to shift something really quick on your screen so while you're writing it down. So hopefully I can make the screen a little bit bigger, and that way, because here in a little bit there's going to be a lot of writing and you're not going to be able to maybe see it as well. So let's go to this. All right, so write down, how does self-sabotage affect business? What do you think? When you think of things to hinder or hamper or hurt business that you are doing, how does that affect the business? All right, here are some examples of self-sabotage in business. People pleasing, lack of boundaries, procrastination, overthinking, imposter syndrome, fear of failure. You have an overcommitment. You have difficulty setting realistic goals. All of these, I just kind of mentioned a few of them, are examples of ways to self-sabotage in business. Okay. And how that affects your business is it doesn't grow, or it doesn't grow as quickly as you would like for it to because of these self-sabotaging behaviors. And so we're going to talk about 3 of them today, so I don't want to go into it right now, but you're not getting the clients, you're not making the money. You know, those are things, you know, kind of top 2 things in business, right? Why do we create businesses? Most businesses want to make money. How do we make money? We have to have clients or we have to have customers, right? It would be my guess. That's my goal in business. What would it look like to stop self-sabotage? You would have greater clarity and focus. You could have increased productivity. You can improve your decision making because you're not questioning yourself all the time, right? You have more confidence because when you're taking action and you start seeing results, that just naturally increases your confidence. You have improved relationships, and there's that sense of empowerment. Wow, I can do this. I'm not an imposter. I am capable. of using my strengths to grow my business. Wow, that feels really good. You have improved time management. You have a greater work-life harmony, and we're going to talk about that some more here in a few minutes. And guess what? You have more opportunities because you're able to look at the things through a growth mindset lens instead of a fixed mindset. You see opportunities that are right in front of you. Like I was saying earlier, like as an entrepreneur, we come up with ideas. We see opportunities and then we turn them into more than how we originally saw them. So I want you to really look at the benefits of reducing self-sabotage and how your business can grow in these areas by reducing it. All right. There are several different self-sabotaging behaviors, but we're going to talk about 3 types today. And I put the first one first for a reason. This is the perfectionist. That is the old me. I am a recovering perfectionist. I am a work in progress. So I can relate to the perfectionist. Everything had to be perfect in my world. But let me tell you, reducing that need for perfection has changed my world. It's reduced so much pressure that I would put on myself to make things perfect. Guess what? Perfection doesn't exist. Now, excellence can exist, but perfection does not. The perfectionist is very self-critical and hyper-focused on flaws and mistakes, and that can lead to negative self-image and a reduction in confidence. I don't know about you, but that does not sound fun. Mm-mm. The perfectionist can lead to overworking because the perfectionist believes they have to work harder and longer to achieve goals. But guess what? That's not true. I know. You might be asking yourself, I don't I don't know what you mean. How is that possible that I don't have to work long hours, nonstop, take away from my family or activities that I want to do? But it is possible. The perfectionist is fearful of failure, and that fear of failure prevents them from taking risks. And sometimes in business, you have to take risks to grow. But the perfectionist doesn't like that. The perfectionist wants things in a certain way that are perfect, and risks aren't perfect because you're betting on the unknown, right? Perfectionist or perfectionism leads to procrastination because you're constantly redoing and redoing and redoing. Before, if I were to do a presentation like this, I would spend a lot of time. Now I do for research and organizing the information in a way that comes across that you can receive it, but I would make sure that all those squares were symmetrical, even though they do look like it. I didn't spend much time on it, but it's perfect size, like, but I'm not going anywhere because I'm spinning around all of this perfection or seeking perfection. All right, moving on. Imposter syndrome. You feel inadequate, like you don't have enough to give. Maybe it's knowledge or experience. And then that kind of leads to self-doubt and maybe some lack of confidence in your abilities because you are newer. You maybe just recently started your business or you're in less than 3 years and you're putting yourself out there. Maybe you see a lot of competitors and so then you start comparing. Okay. You feel exposed. Oh my gosh, what if they find out? I just started my business last week. Okay, that can give you some feelings of anxiety. Or, oh, this one feels awful. You feel like you don't deserve success because you just started. And what about the other person that's been in business 5 years that has a similar offer? Well, guess what? They chose you for your business. Imposter syndrome believes things just happen because of luck. Oh, I'm just lucky, I guess. And they disqualify their skill set or their knowledge or their experience. Okay? An imposter syndrome person feels like they need to prove, constantly proving worth because there's that self-doubt inside. And they work and work and work and work because they're trying to prove that they are good enough or they are the business that you want to buy from. Okay? Does any of this sound familiar so far? Go ahead. Raise your hand. Nobody can see you. If you want to drop a comment, go ahead. I'll read them later. Ooh, this used to be me too. Not very much, but I would. I'm guilty. And if you know me, I'm going to admit it because how can I help you if I don't if I'm not vulnerable myself, right? Multitasking. I used to brag all the time about how well I could multitask. But then I don't remember. It's been a few years ago. I realized that multitasking's not something to brag about when it comes to business. You really need to be focused on the task at hand so you can get it completed. And I have to just give a little shout out. I am part of a group of women, online business owners, who we get together. I adore, she's actually inside this group, Sydney. She created something called the Hour League. And it is so powerful because for 1 hour, we join online, all these other women, and we work for that hour. Whatever that task is, we do for an hour. And I did it this morning and it was so oh, powerful. That's the only word I can really think about is powerful because for that hour, I just kind of finalized my slides for today's training. I didn't do anything else, just that, just kind of making sure I added some notes. And that was it. That was my task. I didn't check my emails. I didn't message in the DMs. I didn't check Facebook to see if anybody commented about the training. I only focused on my presentation. And it was so powerful to only do that one thing. And I got it done. In the past, when I was multitasking, I wasn't as productive. Was I productive? Absolutely. Because I didn't accept no or failure as an option. But multitasking did not make me as productive. So you have to make sure that you are focused on one or two tasks at hand and not multitasking. Now, I'm not saying you can't be cooking dinner in the kitchen, talking to the kids about their homework, whatever. There are some things that you can multitask, but when it comes to your business, one task at a time. The busy cycle person also says yes to everything. They're just busy, 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 busy all the time. Okay. You have to tell your friends no for dinner. Can't meet up. You're too busy. Okay. How's that make you feel? Probably not that great. What would it feel like to say yes to that dinner with a friend because you've been missing the connection? Ooh, that feels really good. All right. We got to get you out of the busy cycle. Again, another similarity, working really long hours, trying to get all the things done. Guess what? Long hours leads to burnout, and that means you don't have a very good work-life balance or harmony like we're going to talk about. Too busy for self-care. I own that one. not going to my regular appointments. I don't know if you're Facebook friends with me or Instagram, but I posted a story yesterday. Going to a doctor's appointment is part of self-care. We have to put ourselves first. We have to make our health a priority. We have to be strong and healthy to have successful businesses. All right. I don't know about you, but let's think about after we were reading, that was just 3 of the different types of self-sabotage and the kind of the 4 categories or 4 things that they do inside. How are you feeling after reading those 3? For me, I feel exhausted talking about those. I feel like the energy was just sucked out of me. I don't know about you, but that's icky. I don't like that. And it reminds me of when I was in the busy cycle or the perfectionist. And I didn't like that person. I didn't like those qualities about me because they were draining. They were just so energy draining and they made me feel exhausted. But it doesn't have to be that way to run a successful business. So here we are at the interactive symbol, and I want you to think about how it will feel to break free of those behaviors and get out of your own way. So going back to that list at the beginning, I was reading some of those statements. You know if you're doing it. You might not be a perfectionist. You might have a little bit of imposter syndrome. You might be an overthinker. You might be stuck in the busy cycle. There's something that probably resonates with you, even though it might not have been the 3 I discussed. But I want you to think about how it will feel to break free from those self-sabotaging behaviors and get out of your own way. So I want you to take just a few seconds and write down as much as you can about how it will feel to release the perfectionist, release the imposter, release the busy bee, or whoever it is, or those behaviors, right? Separate you from the behavior. Okay. Write down how it will feel. Powerful. I'm trying to think of some words that just like words. You don't have to write sentences or a paragraph, just words. Freeing, release, less heavy, light, relaxed. Because I wouldn't be tense by doing all the things, so I'd be relaxed. What will you feel? Write them down real quick. All right. Who's ready for some strategies to overcome those self-sabotaging behaviors? Whoop, 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 whoop. All right. The strategies that I'm getting ready to share with you will help with most of the 3 that we just went over. I didn't give like, okay, for the perfectionist, here are some strategies. I'm giving an overview because they will kind of intertwine with each of the different types of self-sabotaging behaviors, but mostly it will help you move forward with growing your business. All right, so here we go. Set realistic goals. You need to break down your larger goals. You've got big goals, but let's break them down into smaller, more achievable ones. When we do that, then it doesn't feel so overwhelming, right? Oh, I only need to send a DM. Oh, I can make 3 phone calls, whatever. I don't know what your goals are. But let's break down getting more clients because that kind of seems really overwhelming into ways we can get more clients. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. When you do this, like I said, it will reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed, and it will keep you from getting discouraged from having unrealistic goals. Now, I'm not bashing anyone in the online space, but there are a lot of get rich quick, I call them schemes out there. They might work with people. I don't know. They haven't worked with me, and that's okay. That's not how I do business, but there are people that do business differently than me. But sometimes when you see, oh, make 100K in 5 days, well, let's be real. Do you think that's going to happen in your business? If it is, that's fantastic. But more than not, more so than it's not. So don't get discouraged by unrealistic expectations. Let's start smaller and build up to that. I'm not saying you can't do it, but let's be realistic. Where you are at this point in your business, is that going to happen? All right, next. Focus on progress, not perfection. Like I said, if I were to just keep working on the slideshow, oh, moving symmetrical, order, size, I'm not going to make much progress. So focus on making progress, not if it's perfect. Imperfect action is what we want. Imperfect action. Also, celebrate your small successes, because no matter, this is what I say in Limitless Women, no matter how big or small, a win is a win. When you keep adding up all of the wins, woo, we have big success. Okay? Focus on progress, not perfection. All right, now back to the slide that was trying to switch over to. All right, challenge those negative thoughts. I want you to be aware. Are you constantly being a negative Nelly? If you are, I want you to do some inner work and figure out, hey, maybe it's me. You're always negative. No one's calling you back. No one's answering your DMs. No, okay, well, let's change our strategy. All right. Challenge those negative thoughts. What is the evidence to support the thought you're having? What are the facts? All right. Is it you, or is there some truth to the thought that you're having? Set boundaries. Boundaries are so important. And I picked this image because I like to use the example of a fence. And at my home, I have a fence around my yard. What is the purpose of a fence? The fence keeps people out that I don't want in. The fence keeps things in that I don't want out, like my dogs, right? I don't want my dogs to get out. I'd be so sad. So boundaries keep things protected inside. And we have a gate to allow things in if we want them in, or to remove them and put them out. We have a gate. You are the gatekeeper of your boundaries. You can say no. You don't always have to say yes. If you want to say yes, then say yes. That's a boundary. But putting boundaries in place, boundaries are healthy. Hear me again. Boundaries are healthy because they help you prevent burnout. Okay? You don't want to be burned out. If you're overworked, you're going to lead to burnout. Boundaries help keep things in place so that doesn't happen. Boundaries are healthy. I can't say that enough. All right, self-compassion. I love this one. What would you tell a friend? Love yourself like you do others. Recognizing your strengths and weaknesses and working on them. Tell yourself that was a good job. Or say, hey, I know it didn't work out in that sales call, but that's okay. You're going to try again. You've got the skills. Remember, you've got A, B, and C skill set. that just wasn't the sell for you. Practice self-compassion. What would you tell a friend or a family member? Tell that to yourself. Love yourself just like you do other people. Self-compassion. I love it. Self-care, 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 self-care. Prioritize your self-care. Self-care is not always massages or mani-pedis, although they are fantastic. There are other ways of self-care. Boundaries, like I mentioned before. Okay. Pick up a hobby. You don't have to work all the time. You don't have to be a mom all of the time. You can have some time for yourself, maybe reading a book, maybe exercise. I can't tell you about that. I need to be better about exercise. With the warmer weather, I'm looking forward to getting my bicycle out again and riding my bicycle. That will be my self-care, not only for my physical health, but for my mental health too, because it will reduce any stress that I might have. And I have to tell you, sometimes some really good ideas come when I'm doing an activity out of the norm. It's almost like it activates a different part of my brain because sometimes we're just always in our thinking, but when we're able to incorporate whole body movements, then other things come out. But prioritize your self care. Get support. Reach out to mentors, coaches, maybe other business owners. Um, this not only helps with just the support and encouragement, but some accountability too. I go to a local, it's Professional Moms monthly, and I love it. I've made some really good friends there that it's just nice to know we're not alone. Because, like I said, as an entrepreneur, sometimes it can feel alone. And so it's nice to, I'm helping with um, networking to talk about my business, but also just kind of get that support. And it's just nice to hear from other people every once in a while so I don't feel alone. Another way that you can get some support is to delegate tasks within your business and possibly even build a team. All right, so I've been doing a lot of talking. So let's just take a moment. Here's an interactive activity that we're going to do. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about when you started your business. So go back in time to when you started your business. And I want you to think about your primary motivation for starting your business. What was it? What was the primary motivation to start your business? What was your vision for your business? And what was your why? What was your primary motivation for starting your business? What was your vision? And what was your why? Whys are usually different than your motivation. Keeping your eyes closed, I want you to think about this. What is keeping you from accomplishing your vision? Are you still motivated in your business? What about your business makes you light up or feel energized? What is keeping you from accomplishing your vision? Are you still motivated in your business or with your business or by your business? What about your business lights you up or makes you feel energized? Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. You must take action to move forward in your business. So who's ready to take action? If you are still with me, drop some comments in the feed. Let's see who is ready to take action. I know I am. I take action. I try to take action every day, just the different task of what it is. All right. interactive, in your journal, on your tablet, your computer, write down 3 priorities for your business. What are 3 priorities for your business? And I'm putting you on the spot. You might have to come back to this one, and that's okay. Just write it down. Write 3 priorities for your business and 3 priorities for your life. Write down 3 priorities for your business and write down 3 priorities for your life. Okay? Now, write down 3 areas where you can simplify. And I didn't say if that was for business or for personal. So that is up to you to decide. Write down 3 areas where you simplify. Okay? Systems. Systems in business are key. Sometimes you will realize that you don't have any systems. If somebody calls your business, do you have a system on what to do? Oh, oh, what do you mean? Well, I talk to them. Well, what do you talk about? Well, I talk about the business. What about the business? I answer their questions. Okay, maybe you need a system for answering calls. Do you have a system for getting clients, new clients, reoccurring clients, referrals? Do you have systems for your day-to-day? Checking your emails, checking your phone log, checking your DMs. Like, do you have systems in place for that? Write down one area where you might need a system. Or write systems, question mark, and come back and spend some more time on it. It might be that you need to write down all of the systems that you do have and then walk through all of those systems to see how they're working. Are they efficient? Do they need to be modified? Do some homework there. All right. Getting clients. What is your business? Who is your target audience? Where are they hanging out? And how can you help them? That's a big one, especially in the online space. There are so many online coaches, for example, that offer very similar things, services, offers. And if you don't stand out, then you kind of get lost in what I call the online noise. So if you have a clear way that you help them so that you can communicate that, that increases your chances of getting clients. That can work in a brick and mortar business also. What makes you stand apart from your competitor? Think about that. In the realtor world, lots of realtors right now is a hot market, or it seems to be. And so how do you stand apart from all the other realtors? Be yourself is one. I try to attract people who are very similar to me, driven, high achieving women. So I target that because I understand that and I work well with that. You give me a task, I'm going to complete it. Okay. Be yourself. I try to use humor. Sometimes I'm not funny, and that's okay, but I try to use humor. I give lots of compassion. I'm a very empathetic person, highly sensitive. And that pours out into the people who I work with. They know I care about them. They know I want the best for them. So be yourself. Be genuine, be authentic, be yourself. You will attract the people who like people like you. Okay? Network. Like I said, I go to a local networking group. There are multiple local networking groups available. In the online world, there are lots of opportunities to network inside Facebook groups. There's coffee chats right now. Like I was saying, the Hour League that Sydney created is a way to network. Network, put yourself out there, let people know what you do. Who are you helping? So they can refer to you if they know of somebody who has needs your service. Promote where your clients are. So if it's in maybe you work with moms who are trying to improve their health. So maybe you go inside of some mom Facebook groups and listen to what the moms are saying. They don't have time to focus on themselves or their nutrition or whatever. And that's not my wheelhouse. So I can't speak to that. But that's how you would do that. Go where they are. So you can hear what they're saying. That's market research also. Build those relationships. When you build relationships, people remember you because they remember that you took the time to build the relationship and you just didn't promote and ghost. And I think I just made that up. Maybe I need to coin that. Ultimately, you need to simplify your business or your systems or your processes, align with the people who you want to work with, love yourself, and do all of it without sacrifice. Doesn't that sound amazing? Without sacrifice. That just really um, lights me up when I was creating that slide, and I was like, oh, because there were a lot of times that I sacrificed. Ultimately, it was my health, and I will never do that again. Work-life harmony. I'm sure you've heard of work-life balance, but I like to use the term work-life harmony because we are business owners. We're going to work, but we also want to have a life. And so, how do we bring those together? Not just balancing them, but together. Okay. Harmony, I think of music. I didn't put the music definition in here, but it's a pleasing arrangement of parts, all of the things that go along, all the parts with life, mom, spouse, daughter, sister, business owner, all the parts of life with all the parts of work, networker, marketer, secretary, janitor, whatever, accountant, all of the parts and putting them together in a pleasing arrangement. And then another definition of harmony was internal calm. And that kind of goes with that without sacrificing. So you have internal calm. And when I saw this image, I thought of something that we talk about with my clients, and that's our circle of control. And so we had circles on here. There are going to be lots of things in the world or in life that are out of our control, whether it's in business or in life. But you see those rocks are stacked strong, right? They're balanced, if you want to use the word balanced. They're centered, balanced in that circle. So no matter what chaos or moving parts are out of our control in the outer world, we remain calm. And that is work-life harmony. When you can have all of the things in life going on, all of the things in work going on, and they come together and you still have calm or peace or no sacrifice. So I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and visualize what work-life harmony would look like in your life. Visualize it. What would it feel like? What would it sound like? What would it smell like? What would it taste like? Really use your five senses to visualize this moment, to have that inner calm, to have a life without sacrifice, to have a growing, successful business and still have a life. What would that look like? Okay. So now I want you to write down things that you could do. I have a typo, and the perfectionist didn't even catch it. With work-life harmony. Write down just a few things. If you had work-life harmony, what would be different? Would you have more time to spend with your family because you weren't overworking in your business? Would you be able to pick up a hobby because now you're not working so much in your business? You have time to pick up a hobby. How would work-life harmony be different than it is for you right now? So write down things that you could do with work-life harmony. You're probably thinking, how is this even possible? And I want to remind you of that last slide when I was talking about different ways of overcoming self-sabotage, and that was support. Well, guess what? Working with me is that support. And I have a program called the Client Attraction Accelerator. I have 5 modules. We talk about your offer. We do a lot of mindset work. Today is what we did with mindset work. We talk about execution in your business with those systems and things like that. We talk about conversion, getting those clients. And after you've got them, how do you serve them? So I have 5 components inside of my Client Attraction Accelerator program. You'll get 3 months of one-to-one coaching. Like I said, we get mindset work, lots of mindset work. We do some sales coaching, some conversion through Messenger. We'll have weekly meetings. You have one-to-one implementation sessions. Ultimately, you have accountability to grow your business. And again, here are 5 pillars. You've got the offer and some things we cover. Oh, did it again. Things that we cover in the offer module. This is not all of it. It's just a glimpse. We have some mindset, execution, conversion, and then service. So I'm ready for you to grow limitless. I know you're ready to grow limitless. I love the word limitless because we have nothing holding us back. We don't have those limiting beliefs that keep us stuck. We are free from those limiting beliefs or those self-sabotaging behaviors to live limitless. So if you are ready to grow and ultimately live limitless, then you can go to missyriddles.com/strategy and you can schedule a session with me, a strategy session, where we can talk about where you are and if you want to move forward in working with me and that support to grow your business. Make sure that you mention Limitless when you schedule the session, and I'll send over a bonus of a free guide to increase happiness and success. But you need to make sure that you word it limitless. And then I might have another little bonus surprise for you too on the end of that call. So anyway, if you are ready to grow limitless, then www.missyriddles.com/strategy is the place that you want to go right now. So take that action, and I can't wait to meet you on a strategy call. Other ways that you can connect with me, the Aligned Client Attraction Accelerator program, like I said, you can go to my website, missriddles.com, and read a little bit more about it. You can stay inside of this wonderful community, Limitless Women, because it is ever evolving and getting better as it evolves. And so, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. I'm going to stop sharing for a little bit. I will go back, like I said, and read any comments that were maybe inside of the training, because when I share with StreamYard, I'm not able to see the comments, but I will come back and comment. Also, if you're not quite ready for the strategy call, send me a DM. Let's talk about it and see how we can help you and your business grow. All right, take care, everyone.